What's up, Empty? Marco, how you doing, buddy? I ain't got much exciting going on tonight, guys. Actually, Empty, I'm getting your scales and liners glued up so I can get them on the knife and get that thing on its way to you. Cool that you're here, I guess. You can see that. I had already put the liners on, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of made an error there. I glued the liners to the knife before I glued them and the scales together, and it don't work that way. And I knew that. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I mean, sometimes you try new stuff and it's game changing. Just makes everything better. And sometimes you realize why everybody did it the other way. And that's what happened there. So, having to redo them. Not a big deal, but all we're doing here is attaching these orange liners to these green scales. This way, tomorrow, I'll be able to actually install them. They just need a little time overnight to cure. I don't even remember where I got these scales that empty, but I like them, man. They're like a deep forest green. Most all the green I see nowadays for sale for as far as scales go are a lot brighter green. This just has a more outdoorsy look, I guess you could say. Alright, so that's got that set done. I got some drawing to do here in a little bit. Who else in here? I don't have my glasses on, I can't see shit. What's up, hey man? How you doing, buddy? But I got a whole stack of scales over there that I need to attach liners to. Like I said, I know that's not exciting, but it's work that's got to be done. There's one thing I've learned, and just recently, is that liners don't need to be an option. They serve no purpose other than looking good. And maybe this is a fad I'll grow out of, but I think they just make everything look better. Just gives everything a more professional look. So I'm going to continue to use them until I get sick of it or y'all do. Till somebody tells me no liners. You know, it's more cost That couple of bucks, in my opinion, is well worth it. You know, take these scales for example, very pretty. But when you put a liner on them, that's even prettier. At least in my opinion, they are. Make sure we get a good even coat of epoxy all the way over that scale. And that's literally all you need. And on to the next one. They don't even really need to be clamped or anything. I can just put some weight on them, that's all they need. So that's what I'm going to do. Transfer these over here. Get a piece of marble on them. Knock them down good. I do want to check on one thing. Hang on. Yeah, I'm good. And you know, you can still make them all a little different. You know, like that last one had a pink liner. This one's going to have a purple liner. Probably hard to see on camera the difference it makes, but I think it looks way better with a liner. Is that up, Kyle Coonley? Oh man, I can't read that chat at all. And I don't know what happened to my reading glasses I had in here. I mean, they were meatheads, so I'm sure he probably reacquired them. One thing I've learned about epoxy, if you're having problems with your epoxy sticking or working right, it's probably because you're using too much of it. The more you use, the more headaches you're creating for yourself. It's literally, by the time you clamp it, just a microscopic thin layer anyway. There's no point in gobbing it on, having an excessive amount of epoxy. It's just simple as that. Like I say, I know this is not very exciting stuff. I've got some steel I need to get drawn out. I don't know if I'll get it cut up tonight or not. I've got more pressing issues with past due orders that I need to address. But you guys that have been around a while know that you don't always get to work on exactly what needs to be worked on at that minute. Everything's a process. Sometimes you have to wait a bit. But we have plenty of knives to work on, that's for sure. I think I've still got knives over here laid out that just need some final touches, I guess you could say. Yeah, there's plenty of thugs awaiting order, and I've got even more. So, you know, somebody hook a brother up, buy a thug. I'm having to retrieve those from over there. No, I'm gonna stick with the boring work I don't want to do right now. And get all these scales glued up so that I can get people's knives finished. Keep wanting to find something more exciting to do. But this is the mindless work that must be done. To get these under some weight. Now what it is about this stool, it's just the rung on it is at the perfect height where every time I go to get on it, it catches the back of my shoe. Flips it off my damn foot. The other stool don't do this, just this one. It does it so perfectly that I can't even feel it happen. See what you guys are talking about for a second. See if I... Empty, I will do that at a, yeah, after all this. I know you were saying you wanted something for your son. I can't expect you to buy them all either, though, man. To be honest, I kind of wanted to be in a position where I had a little bit of inventory. I've been working from behind for so long that it might be nice just to have some, not a whole lot because that's money, but you know, to have some just sitting around. So, you know, if somebody gets the money saved up to buy one or whatever, they can just purchase it and be done. And I've got some shops that are interested in putting a couple into inventory, so maybe that'll make that possible. In case you guys are wondering, it's not just that I haven't been going live. I haven't been here, man. I had a pretty horrible weekend. A couple of y'all know the story. I'm not going to sit here and tell some woe is me story, but a couple of y'all have heard it. And man, I just had to take a few days just to decompress from that. Things did not go well. I'll just say that. Most of them out of my control, for the most part. But yeah, something that was supposed to be a positive did not work out, and then the negativity just compounded itself over and over and over again this past weekend. So my only point of telling you all that is that that's why I haven't been in the shop. I've learned that I do not do good work when my head's not right. So I've taken the week to kind of decompress, get my head back straight, whatever you want to call it, because yeah, I wasn't in a good place, man. It just what's that movie called? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's kind of what felt like happened. So I've been kind of absent from the live streams. I haven't been doing my own. I just needed a little time. Time to get my shit together. Well, I'm glad I checked that. That's a different business. All right. So I'm done with that crap. Get all these over here out of the way. Be letting them cure up. You know, it's weird when you make knives for a little while and you make a couple that at least you think are really good looking. You kind of think your days of making really ugly knives are over. They're not. I knew this was a risky concept to begin with, but I wanted to try it on a blade that really didn't matter to me. As much as you guys like the honeycomb, check these out. This yellow honeycomb is ugly as hell. I don't know if the camera's catching it, but it's just muddy looking, man. It's not bright, doesn't have any pop. So I'm gonna grind these off and rescale this. That's a giveaway knife for the Knife Junkies channel anyway. There's no hurry on it, but man, that thing turned out really bad. So what I'm going to do now, I've got to glue scales on this. This is a custom order from a local buddy of mine. So I'm going to knock that acid wash off the handle so that I know the glue sticks better. Somebody's already on there screaming PPE, PPE. I'm done. Let me go get the scale material for that knife. That one, he does not want liners, so no liners on that one. honesty, this knife is the one that has been waited on the longest. This guy ordered a knife from me a year ago when I started, and I got it completely wrong the first time I made it. I was trying to do things from memory that I should not have. I'm trying to finally get his knife done so I can get it delivered. Fortunately, I was smart enough not to let him pay me for it. Up front, I mean. Laid on here, and we'll get it clamped down. One more clamp. I got a little glue to get off the ricasso. Salt oozed out already. I had somebody teach me something a little new about removing that glue, but I'm not going to try it on this knife because it is acid washed. I could be wrong, but I don't think it'll work the same. But for those of you who know who Dark Timber Customs is, he told me to stop trying to wipe the glue off the ricasso. He said just leave it. Just make yourself a brass scraper, come back the next day, get under it with that brass scraper, and it'll peel off like dead skin. You won't end up scratching up the ricasso trying to scrape it off. I believe him. I am going to try it. What is that? Thank you, sir. Epoxy funds. I am going to try that, but I want to try it on something that's, you know, slick, polished metal, not acid etched. And if you don't be spending too much money now, dude, don't forget you got that ammo fund coming up. plan is to get Jeremiah's knife scaled up, which I've already made the first step in that. And then Empty and Mad Yoko's scales and liners are now glued up, so hopefully tomorrow I can get started on getting those installed. So it already had yours installed, Empty. If you can see the epoxy stuff that's on there, I got to drill it back out of these holes because I had to pop it back off. And I got a little special project that I got to start pretty soon for Mr. Hayden Miguel. I'm going to be attempting my, I don't want to say it's my first Tanto. I've been practicing that Tanto grind until I'm somewhat comfortable with it. It'll be the first Tanto that I'm making for somebody. I'll put it that way. I forgot I got one more set of liners here. I forgot about. I gotta get glued up. And I'll be done with that crap. Empty, Ashley, I appreciate that, bud, but I do have more epoxy. Anytime I have to start letting this bottle lay on its side to get the epoxy to come out, I go ahead and buy more because I know I'm not far from being out. I don't even want to talk about those scales. Every time I talk about those and I get excited about them, I fucking ruin them. I have made three perfect sets of those and ruined two of them. And it's quite disheartening because it's one of my favorites. I think the only person who has any is, shit, I can't even remember who bought the knife now. But it's my Scotch-Brite micarta. It's really hard to nail that and get it right. And I think this set is right. But I don't want to get excited about it until they're on and shaped and all that, because I don't want to ruin them. What's up, Paul Mills? There ain't no sparking going on tonight, Paul. We ain't doing no No real grinding. I've got some thugs over here I need to do some touch-up work on, so I'm going to start on that and go grab that. Grab these out of this patch. If any of y'all are wanting a truly unique thug, something that nobody else has, this is the one right here. I didn't have enough handle material to make any more of these. But, well, tell you what, I'm not going to show it off right now. Let me wait till I get it finished. I'm bad about that, about wanting to show things before they're actually really done. And this is beautiful when it's shined up, and it's not shined up right now, so we'll just wait until it's actually ready. Well, I guess the compressor's off. I apologize, guys. My videography, it's never good, but it's even worse tonight. I guess I just got out of the groove of moving the camera around. As I walk away again. All right, I'm back. case you're wondering, yes, this is much safer than running that high-speed bucket. Mostly because it's variable speed, I can control it myself. And because that doesn't have enough power to yank it out of my hands and slink it into my belly button. You kind of have to look at these up close to really get a feel for how beautiful these are. These scales are absolutely gorgeous. And this knife is available, so I think it's the prettiest scale material I've used yet. I do want to remind you guys of one thing though, man. These scale materials on these thugs, these are not hard use materials. The thug is not a hard use knife. So keep that in mind. You can't beat on them. I'm sure if you dropped it at the right angle, in the right circumstances, on the right concrete, they might chip. You know, this is just a mild use pocket fixed blade. And I only bring that up because these are burl scales, and they, you know, burl's not a super tough material. Now, if you use it as a knife handle, you know, it's going to be just fine. If you go beating on it, yeah, I'm sure they'll chip. They'll probably break. So just keep that in mind. I don't think anybody ever expected a 7-inch knife to be super hard use to begin with. You know, if you want something super tough, some carbon fiber or whatever, if you want to pay for it, I'll put that on there. Don't feel like that light's really it just looks kind of muddy brown to me on screen, but you can't see the reds and greens and all those beautiful colors running through it. That's a really pretty knife. Not a sponsor. I'm not too far behind in the conversation, guys. I can barely see it because I don't have any of my glasses here. I don't know how much work I'm going to do tonight. Kind of tough. I can't see very good. I had that pair stuck back here and I don't know what happened to it. I gotta get with Mad Yoko anyway before I put scales on his knife. I've got some, well, never mind, you guys don't care. Dang, I don't do y'all. I guess I could go ahead and get these ground off. They're certainly not staying on here, so might as well grind them off now, I guess. It won't take long. Like that. Come on. Got that out of the way. Hey, that fan is incredible, man. Wow. It blows all the dust out, and the other one hits my belly. But, yeah. I don't know what them things cost. It's worth everything. If I can stay right here in front of it, I'm not hot. Unfortunately, I can't stay right in front of it. So, you know, I do tend to still get a little warm. I say a little warm as I'm standing here sweating profusely. I had planned to do some further refinement on some of the knives I took to Blade Show and I wasn't happy with. I'm sure all y'all have heard that story. However, not having my glasses and not being able to see as good as I want to, I'm not going to do that. No point in ruining even more of them. And oddly enough, I don't know what I did with the frets. They're not here anyway, so gotta get that taken care of. Kathleen, I will get one of these picked out soon and get it on its way to you, ma'am. Uh, I haven't forgotten you on that. And I don't mean to sound greedy, but I did want to wait until after the shows to, you know, so I could have as much inventory as possible, but that ended up not even being necessary, so it didn't matter. But I just got a phone call, guys, that I've got to answer. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get off here. I'll see y'all.